I'm Bob. I like coffee. I also like to tell stories. So here at the Bobcast Coffee, it's time for a coffee break. So take a coffee break with me and pour yourself a cup of your favorite Joe. By the time you're done with your coffee, you'll know something about me you really didn't need to know. But you'll have fun learning it. Just remember, my stories are true. For the most part.
Welcome you to Bobcast Coffee, having my coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, from his whirlwind tour, playing bass for Ozzy Osbourne, it's Joe Whitbeck.
Far from it. I don't even know how to play the guitar.
I have tried to play several instruments in my life. The closest I've got a banjo that plays me pretty well.
Oh, jeez. I play golf, and that's about it. And you tried that with me about the same time I started learning, and it didn't stick, I don't think.
I have gone out on a few golf courses. I kept my golf clubs with me all the way into California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in my time in Arizona, I used to hit golf balls out into the desert, usually aiming for coyotes.
Ah,
But that was about the,
keeping them at bay.
yeah. Hey, I've done a Top Golf before.
Oh, yeah. They're good margaritas. That's about all they're worth.
That's about it.
Well, let's tell them why we're talking. We're talking because we grew up best buddies when we were about 8 years old.
Holy crap.
We moved next door to you in
70,
July of '76
there it is.
because I remember it was only a few days before the bicentennial, and we literally just moved out to Surrey Hills where we were next door neighbors, right? We grew up
Yep.
together, and I think so. '76. I guess I was about 12 or 13.
Yeah, that would be.
Probably 13 because I was born in '63, so that would make sense. And just turned 13. And we moved in, and my stepdad was a big golfer, and he wanted to live out at a place like Surrey Hills, and we lived out on, what were we on, number 11?
Well, it changed because it was they switched the holes around. But let's see, that would be, yeah, it'd be whole. It was 11 when we were there,
Right.
and then shortly after we moved out, they changed it around and made it 2.
Number 2, huh? I never
Yeah.
played it as the number 2, but I get why they did it because the hole's right next to the clubhouse,
Yeah.
number 1. So that makes sense because you had to literally walk across the street several hundred yards to get to number 1 tee box, which didn't make sense.
The last time my parents were living out there, it was back. Number 1 was across the street again.
So do they not live out there anymore?
No, they have moved. Well, you know my dad, he can't stay in the same house for more than a few years.
They had a few houses even while we were there. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's now over here in Yukon, just a couple of miles from me. But he's been down in Mustang and
Really?
several houses. He lived on 9 for a while, and then bought a house over on 18 and just moved across the fairway.
Oh yeah. Those
Yeah.
smaller houses. Yeah.
Oh, that was a great house, the one on 18. It's the one when you're on the tee box.
Yeah.
It's the one you're most likely to hit, as if you're trying to cut the fairway to get to the green.
Well, let's talk about, when we lived on 11. I don't remember. Was that 116th
I
Street?
think that it was 116th. We're right
Yeah.
down there by the creek.
Yeah, I think I was about 150 yards, maybe 200. I don't know. Distances changes when you get older. Things, things get smaller. Uh, and our house got hit a lot,
Yeah.
probably every day. I mean, almost every day. And matter of fact, it got to the point where, 13, I'm not playing in the backyard a lot, even though we did. Uh, our house got hit a lot. My mom was a little worried about getting hit by a golf ball because we had, you remember, we had the greens, whatever the hell that was called, the greens committee or the
Yeah.
green. Yeah, we had our back plate window, if you'll remember that big old thing, replaced like 4 times, and we didn't live there long, if you'll remember. My my parents got a divorce not too long after we were there, but gosh, that window got broken so many times because that ball would get up underneath our porch and just bang around. And so we didn't get to enjoy our backyard. But I remember between our houses, we had that gigantic ass cottonwood in between us that would
Yes.
drop those balls freaking everywhere. And you guys had those really cool crabapple trees in the backyard that I thought was really cool. Your dad really babied those things.
Yep. Well, mom would do jam.
Oh, that was good too.
Oh
That
yeah.
sweet, that sweet and sour jam. What were those? Were those crab apples?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, yeah,
She
yeah.
just.
We call them mayhaws here in Louisiana. That's where I live now. Mayhaws, same thing, same thing. They grow them like crazy here. But yeah, that was a good time starting out, man. We had a lot of friends that lived around us. We roamed up and down 116th Street. You and I became close. We did everything together. Um,
you, you,
you
you
never,
hear you hear people talk about the good old days.
yeah.
The sun comes up in the summer, you would get out of your house and you
Mhm.
wouldn't show back up until, the street lights were bright.
And that's me and you.
It's exactly. I mean, I hear people talking about that and I'm sitting there going, "Yeah, what's abnormal about that? That's the way it's supposed to be."
I mean, if you didn't call me first, I'd call you. What are we doing today? Grab your tennis racket. Or
Or,
I mean, oh, we were horrible at tennis.
oh yeah,
Uh,
horrible, but
our
we had a
game,
lot of fun being bad.
it was real popular when we were younger, and it was close to the pool. I mean,
Or
my
we'd
God,
spend all day at the pool.
uh, the pool in the summer,
Yeah.
dude. Were those the best freaking hamburgers you ever ate in your life?
You who knows how good they really were? We didn't
Oh,
care. They were hot. They were there. You were tired. You're hot. It was great.
I got bitched out at the end of every month because I bought too many freaking cheeseburgers, and my mom was pissed. Our bill's $400. How many hamburgers can you freaking eat? I'm like, a lot, mom. Uh,
Hey, the question is, how many did you not have to cook?
no, none, zero. The lifeguards did all that.
Hey,
How about
yeah.
how about those hot chick lifeguards? Oh my God.
I got to cook hamburgers there for about 2 weeks.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was working up at the clubhouse, which was one of my first jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed a cook. The cook left or got fired or whatever, so they sent Bob down there to cook hamburgers.
Oh, really? Well, the lifeguards did most of that,
Yeah.
you know, and but you know, I think my very first job was picking golf balls at the range.
Oh,
We were
having all the teenage kids aim at you while they were hitting balls.
I got a story about that. Well, let me back up. So, we moved in, I think, in maybe late June of '76. And I had three stepbrothers. You probably met them all, the Freeman brothers, Robin, Jeff, and Craig. And it was kind of like the Brady Bunch when we all showed up together. And I remember how cool it was. They were all fired up that we were on a golf course, and um, we all six would, because it was Dwayne, my older brother, and then my younger brother Todd that lived with us, and then Robin, Jeff, and Craig lived with their mom in Oklahoma City. But we had them; they were there almost every weekend. And I remember the very first night they showed up to spend the night. We ventured out over the hill, at the top of the hill, over the tee box, and it was a full moon. It was really hot that night. That time of year in Oklahoma is always hot. And we came up over the hill on a full moon, and Bob, we walked across the hill, and there were freaking golf balls everywhere. We were like, holy crap. I mean, there were golf balls freaking everywhere, and we didn't know what the hell that was. So we ran back to the house, and we had just moved in, so we had empty boxes freaking everywhere. We dragged a couple of boxes and picked up golf balls for like an hour and dragged them back to the house. And, it was a little easier to drag them back to the house than it was to bring them back. But because we'd slide that big ass heavy box that probably weighed 200 pounds all the way down to the garage. And we're sitting there standing over these golf balls and looking at them going, coming up with an idea that we could sell these for like a quarter a piece or whatever and make a bloody fortune up there on 11 tee box. Because we had seen kids selling golf balls up there before, right? And, they had little sandwich bags of 3 or 4 and you buy them for $1. And, but my stepdad came out of the garage and saw all 6 of us standing over those 2 boxes and about shit his pants. He said, what are he goes, where did y'all get these? And it was a bunch of, balls with red bands around them, right? You remember that?
Oh
And
yeah.
he said, y'all picked up the range balls. And he said, we said, well, we don't know what range balls are. And he goes, I applied to join the club yesterday, and you're going to get me kicked out before I even wrote my check. He goes, get those freaking balls back over to the range. And so that was bringing them back. What I was alluding to was harder than getting them back to the house because we were all downhill. And that box would slide. And we took them back and dumped them. And you remember who lived right there at the top of the range? The Ouija's?
Oh yeah.
Mark Ouija. Mark and I are friends on Facebook. We talk every once in a while. He's an attorney in Houston. And
I'm
he
sorry.
said that he and his brother would walk, because we all carried our clubs back then. Our parents didn't have golf carts. And he noticed those balls were in a gigantic ass pile at the top of the range. And he always wondered what the heck that was. And I told him later, and he laughed his ass off. And the pros were even wondering why the balls were all piled up right there. And it was, well, and then Mel got noticed that he got to join the club that next day, which was good. So that's a funny story about the golf balls. And then I end up having to pick up 1 million of them over my tenure there, you know. But you brought up, Mark Weibel lived at the bottom of 11, right behind the tennis courts, or
Yes.
behind the. He was a very good golfer. In like junior high, we were on the golf team together.
He lived on that little it was a cul-de-sac street.
Right. Yeah.
I love the houses. I always thought my dad should have bought a house down there. Those were the coolest houses out in Surrey.
Yeah, that was a small little road, and it dead ended, and they were on the dead end that kind of faced the woods and a creek. They had a pretty cool house. But I remember me and him went after it one day because we were 1 and 2 on the golf team, right? And he was always a little better than me. And whenever I started picking balls on the range, we were fair game, right? In
Yep.
that golf cart. And he hit me a couple of times, and I went up there to the top of that range and gave him hell. I laid him on, I laid him on his ass one time. He just wouldn't stop. But I got in a little trouble for that. Remember the Scottish pro that we had for a little while?
Oh
He,
yeah.
he
Couldn't understand a word he said.
yeah, because he spoke such quick. I got bitched out about that, but didn't care. But anyways, I've never seen Mark Weibel since to share that story.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
You were talking about your glass window on your house getting hit. We ended up we started having golf balls on our back porch. If you remember our back porch, it had that
Yeah.
long um, roof line. I mean, there was no
Hmm.
way golf balls, maybe one might hit the tree and just get that perfect angle, but that
Yeah.
was no way golf ball. And we were having 4 or 5 golf balls a day.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It
you had
well
the you
we
had the perfect link. I don't know how it got through all your trees and all that
well
sort of
we
stuff,
we
but
figured it out. You remember my dog Zorro,
hmm
black white tan collie. He would
hmm
sit hunched down behind the bushes that were separated the fairway and our house. And if a golf ball got too close to the house, he'd run out, grab it, and put it on the porch.
yeah.
And we figured this out because all of a sudden, well, the clubhouse called my dad and they had all these complaints about this dog stealing people's golf balls.
Yeah.
So we had to get him locked up because he would not stop stealing those
Oh
golf
God.
balls.
Yeah, we had the Boyds across the street from you.
Yeah.
Uh, God, we had so many good friends up the street over the hill. You know, just about
Preston,
every night.
Mark Preston, all the way at the far end of 116th.
Preston's at the very end. Yeah. The Preston brothers, Mark and
Derek.
Derek. Yeah. And oh, there were several others on the road. Remember, I mean, just about every night we'd get out on bicycles and everybody was out on the road. And
It was
you
kind
remember
of weird.
Jace Weezer sold ice cream on his little three-wheeler bicycle?
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, it
Mrs.
was
Weezer, our music teacher.
what was weird is you'd get on a bicycle by yourself and just
Yeah.
ride up and down the street once, and the next thing you know, there's 10 kids out there with you.
Oh yeah. He'd ring that bell maybe once, and you knew he was out on his bike.
I'm your ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by. I'm your ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by. Seem to know all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy.
We'd be out buying those little push-up things
Yep.
and shit, and 10 cents this, 10 cents that, and I mean, what an entrepreneur! He was a heck of a soccer player. I remember he and my brother were the same age, and they started playing soccer at the same time. We were always over at the Weezers. Mrs. Weezer was so nice. Um, and then when Jace had to start learning to play the piano, he had to stay in and play the piano and couldn't come out. My brother Todd was always pissed off, you know. But she was, man, she was so sweet, and she was our music teacher, right, in high school.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And her husband, Mr. Weezer, was our golf coach in junior high.
I did not
Yeah,
know. Well, I never did golf.
yeah, competitive.
Yeah, never did. So.
But he died while he was our coach. He
Oh.
was going off to some high school coaching thing. He was a coach at the junior high, and he pulled over. I think it was on I-40 on his way to Shawnee, and died of a heart attack. And that's
Wow.
she was alone. She was alone for a couple years while we lived there. So, but Todd is still friends with Jason. They talk on Facebook from time to time. But you know, but let's talk about some of the stories that when we were younger, man, we were adventurous people.
Well, you know, if you could spend 10 hours in the woods, you spent 10 hours in the woods.
Yeah. We were, back in the 76, 77, all Army surplus was real popular.
Oh, yeah.
Remember all that?
Yep, yep. I had
And
my tent was Army surplus. My sleeping bag was Army surplus.
your backpack smelt like Army. We had all that crap. I guess we were watching MASH all the time, and all that stuff was hitting the stores. And if it wasn't your mom bringing us to the store, it was my mom bringing us to the store to find something, because that stuff was cheap,
Oh
it was
yeah.
cheap, but it was,
It's not.
we,
It's not anymore.
right. Yeah. It's real old now.
Yep.
But man, you had the boots, you had the pants, you had the tent, you had the helmet, you had the backpack, you had all that stuff.
I don't. By the time I got married, had kids, all that stuff, most of that stuff was gone.
Yeah.
But for
Thank God.
some reason, my youngest son found the steel pot, my old helmet, and that was his helmet through scouting. And I'm not saying a word because I don't want to be. It's not my fault.
It is though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That apple didn't fall too far from the tree on that one.
Nope. 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 He got all the bad attributes from myself, and of course he got his height and good looks from his mom.
There you
So
go. Did you ever go on any trips to oh, I'm going blank. Um, what was the name of the place in Oklahoma City that our parents would drop us off to play games? Cactus
oh,
Jacks.
Cactus Jacks. Yeah.
Cactus Jacks. And
Is that
I
still
think
around?
I don't know. It was just on the other side of Lake Overhaul, so I remember that. It wasn't like on Council or something like
Right.
that. It wasn't too far away.
My
And
parents would not drop me off very often. But as soon as I turned 16, I was there a lot.
yeah, what was that first car? A Chrysler
No, no,
thing?
no, no. The first one was the '73 Pinto.
Oh, the Pinto. Jesus
Then it
Christ.
was the Plymouth Fury, that big
The
old
Plymouth Fury.
monster.
The Plymouth Fury.
Oh my
The Plymouth
goodness.
Fury. Dude, the Plymouth Fury. Oh my God, we got some stories about the Plymouth Fury.
Oh yeah, I've told a few on here. Mostly driving way too fast and getting away with it because the cops thought I was another cop car.
Yeah, it does look like a cop car.
It did.
You
It
remember?
was.
Uh, I think we went. You and I, you and me and Mike Greason used to go to a lot of concerts together.
Yep.
And
Yep.
back in the day, we didn't have internet. We had phones. You could have called in and bought tickets over a phone, but we like to go to Lloyd Noble Arena and sit out there at like what 6 o'clock in the morning and wait for the line to open up and go buy tickets. We did that a few times, I remember, but you and I went to a lot of freaking concerts together in high school.
Let me tell
A
you.
lot.
Did you ever do the Blue Oyster Cult concerts?
Godzilla!
Oh my stars! Oh yes.
Lloyd Noble Arena. We were sitting in the back. We could
Yep.
see the
I,
Godzilla come up.
I
Yeah.
remember that now. It was huge as I mean, we were always in the nosebleeds.
That mechanical Godzilla was incredible. Yeah. We went to my this story is resonating with me right now. I think we went to a Journey concert, and because I think we saw Journey. I mean, that was like Greason's favorite at the time, and
Oh
I think
yeah.
we went and saw them 3 times in a row, 3 years in a row. And I think the first time we went, it was me and you and somebody else. I can't
Yeah,
place the third person,
I only saw Journey once.
but it was down at the Oklahoma City Myriad, right?
Right?
And remember, you had to drive the Fury up the thing in the parking lot, right? And when we left, uh, no fault of our own, there they were serving beer, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't think we partake, but I guess we did. And then you had to drive that turn circle on the way back down, and we took a tire out. Remember that?
Yes, that's one of the stories my parents don't know yet.
Oh,
So,
somebody
hey
who
mom,
came and
dad.
got Yeah, but who came and got us? I thought it was your dad.
It had to have been.
Yeah, because the tire
I'm
busted and we had to get to the bottom, if you'll remember,
I'm
and then we
drawing
had
a
to pull
to
out.
I'm drawing a total blank on how we got out of that.
Well, here's the deal. I remember this part. You had to get out of the turnstile because everybody was coming down behind us. We
Yeah.
got out of the way, and we were on the north side of the Myriad, and there was a huge hotel across the way from us. And you opened up the back, and you didn't have a spare, and
Oh.
so we couldn't change the tire. And I think your dad did come get us with a spare. He came. He had to drive all the way in with a tire,
Yeah, at
and we
like
had
midnight. He
midnight,
was he was
and
happy.
we had to sit there for like an hour on the curb. And you remember what we saw an hour after the concert? No, it wasn't Journey. It was Genesis. We saw
Oh,
Genesis
oh, that was a wicked concert. Yeah.
because we saw them getting out of their cars going into the hotel right across from us. We saw Mike Rutherford and we saw Phil Collins and
And
they waved at they
here we
waved
are,
at us.
bunch of idiot rednecks sitting on the curb.
Yeah. So another Fury story. We got rescued and we were okay. We were, idiots. We were probably 17 at the time, and uh, you remember the keg parties out at the river?
um, I've got set
Should
up.
we not get into these? Should we
I,
not get into these things because
no,
your
no,
dad might hear?
I've got bits and pieces of a podcast that I was trying to put together for my 18th birthday. We had the two kegs,
Yep.
and we went out to the river and just threw a hell of a party. And my brother ended up getting arrested that night for DUI.
Oh, did he really?
Well, if do you remember, we were sitting all out there. I mean, it was wonderful. We had the pickups were all pulled up, so you had a place to sit around the fire. We
Yeah,
had a whole bunch of kids show up.
The Greason cousins were very involved in that project.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at one point, this guy shows up and is trying to sell whiskey and dope out of the back of his back of his car.
Huh.
And no one's, we don't know who this guy is, so no one's, trying to talk to him. And my brother, who is three sheets to the wind, basically threatened the guy's life to get out of there. And when he left, the sheriffs all jumped in and arrested him. So now we have a floor show. This was real late into the evening. And I remember this deputy, she walks up and she's checking everybody's IDs. And she looks at mine and says, "Happy birthday," hands it back, and everybody who was underage had taken off into the woods.
Sure. Yeah.
And then when it was time to leave, we put the kegs back in the back of the Fury because we couldn't, it wouldn't fit anywhere else. And the trunk's up and the kegs are flying.
That was a small one-bedroom apartment back of that thing.
It was. But the Yukon police were waiting for us. And when we came out, they tried to pull us over. And it was probably 5-6 miles before Rick realized that there was a cop behind us. So now they've got him for evading, and not evading, we just had the stereo turned up, and so he went to jail that night.
Y'all made it hell for your parents, didn't you?
Yeah. I've apologized a lot because I don't know where I got it from, but man, I could skate around trouble day and night. Okay, we're going to end episode 1 of this story right here. Still more stories to come. So until next time, drink your coffee and go back to work.